first-person view of Luigi, starting now. Mamma mia.
There's something nostalgic about it, but at the same time, it's also not that great. Yeah, that musty kind of scent. Okay, so come on back here, everybody. Come on closer up here. And I want to point out something interesting to you guys. If you take a look to your left, you'll actually see the original building front. Yeah, these windows would have looked out on the street here back in the day.
Oh, no.
We are now
Adi
underneath the
Mario.
sidewalks of Pioneer Square.
Mamma mia.
There's a sidewalk right above our heads here. Remember how I told you all the sidewalks had dark, creepy tunnels underneath them? This is what they actually look like. Now that you can imagine what these tunnels look like, try to imagine 30-something blocks of tunnels like this. Supposedly, most of them inaccessible and unmapped. Yeah, creepy, right? Well, you guys, come a little closer up here, because you're going to want to be close for this next part. So you guys have been a really great group, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a paranormal bonus fact here. So, did you know that there are actually different types of hauntings? They're not all the same. Did you know that there are actually 5 different types of hauntings? Yeah, I'll list them off real quick for you. There is a residual haunting. There is an intelligent haunting. There's poltergeist activity. You might have heard this term before. There is demonic activity. Yeah, I know you've heard that term before. And finally, there are shadow people hauntings. Now, I'll kind of give you a brief description of each one of them. So, what does that sound? Okay. Now, in particular, a residual haunting is essentially a moment in time, usually a moment of intense anger, pain, sadness, trauma, caught on a loop, reliving itself again and again. The spirit does not know it's a spirit. It just keeps redoing that same thing over and over for who knows how long. And then there's an intelligent haunting, the second category. In an intelligent haunting, the spirit knows it's a spirit, and it can, very much so, communicate with the living. And then there's the third category, poltergeist activity. You might have heard this term before. Poltergeist is actually a German word for noisy ghost, and it's categorized differently than a normal ghost for a number of reasons. 1, you don't see a poltergeist. They're only invisible, as opposed to a ghost, which tends to show up as a visible apparition. 2, poltergeists interact with their environment. They move objects, they throw things around, they move furniture. Ghosts, on average, don't tend to do this. And finally, ghosts haunt locations, usually places they loved or places they were familiar with. Poltergeist, they haunt people. Yeah, they tend to focus on one member of the family in particular, and they follow you around. So don't try moving houses, because they will absolutely follow you. And then that brings us to the fourth category, demonic activity. When I use the term demonic, am I talking about a little red demon with horns and a pitchfork going, man? No, because the reality is much, much worse. I am talking about a parasitic, malicious entity which wants to physically inflict harm on you and your entire family. It's this voice that gets inside the head of the father and it keeps repeating over and over, catch him, catch him, catch him, kill him! Till eventually, that man picks up a lever-action rifle and he shoots up his entire family while they're sleeping one night. And among the 6 dead family members, the autopsies all concluded one very disturbing detail. None of the family members actually woke up during the shooting. This guy must have somehow timed his shots with the thunder that was occurring that night. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's because I'm describing the Ronald DeFeo Jr. murders that occurred over in Amityville, New York. You might have heard of the infamous Amityville horror based off of these events. We attribute that to demonic activity. And believe it or not, that's the type of activity that started happening in Merchant's Cafe for a while. And then finally, there's the 5th category, shadow people. Some of you might have heard of these ones. Some of you might not have. They're pretty self-explanatory in their description. They're described as the dark outline of a person, sometimes standing just outside your peripheral vision, sometimes standing directly in front of you. The weirdest part about shadow people is there is no discernible pattern to them showing up. They can show up randomly. The place doesn't even have to be haunted, and all they do is watch. And sometimes when you notice them, they quickly vanish.